So today I will be demonstrating how I use social stories with my clients. So I created a social story for one of my clients who is a 5-year-old boy with autism. So one of the issues that we're working on right now is waiting after he's finished with his independent work. So normally what will happen, we have 3 homework trials for 5, 10, and 15 minutes. We will give him a homework activity that we know will take less than the time we are giving him in order to work on waiting. So usually what happens after he's finished with his work early is he will wave his hands, shout for one of us to come over, make noises, all of that. When, you know, we want him to be able to sit and wait quietly, people won't always be able, or teachers, instructors, parents won't always be able to come over exactly when you're finished. So those are some things, that's what we're working on. So the social story I created is titled, "What Can I Do When My Work is Finished?" I do not have permission to videotape him, so I will be just reading the story and basically describing what I would do if he were here with me. All right. Side order. All right. When it is time to do my work, I always try my best. I read my directions and raise my hand when I need help. Sometimes I finish early. When I finish early, I need something to do quietly at my table. Typically, this would be the point where I would ask him a question. So I would say, so I wonder what are some things he can do when he's done with his work at his table. And I'd wait for him to reply, and then I would move on. Sometimes I sit and read a book. I choose a book from inside the drawer and read quietly at my table. Sometimes I sit quietly and look over my work. When I am done, I do not shout or make noises for the teacher to come over. When the timer goes off, my teacher walks over to my table and checks my work. She tells me I did a good job and I get to make a free choice. All right, so when I am done reading the story to him, I will basically just ask him some questions. I would say, so what are 2 things you can do when you're finished with your work? And if he's able to tell me those things, we go over his instructions and I give him his homework, set the timer, and walk away. So this has been working tremendously. Like, this has been a really good thing that we've implemented. We also have a visual that sits on his table that has 2 pictures of his choices, of the choices that he has once he's finished with his work. Raising his hand is not a choice anymore because we want him to just sit and wait. There's a designated time. So when that timer goes off, that is when you are finished. So yeah, so I've used multiple social stories with him. I find that it's more relatable when we use pictures of him in the social story, or when we use pictures or images of things that he is really into, like Daniel Tiger, or like his little figurines, and we kind of make them the main character of the story. It catches his interest. It's easier for him to follow along with, and it just overall makes it more relatable. So yeah, this is how I would implement a social story. And also, if I felt like at any point when I was reading the story that I needed to kind of go over certain things again, or just like restate them in different words if it seemed like he wasn't, you know, understanding what I was saying, I would definitely do that. But I think it's also good to just kind of ask those questions throughout the story, get him more engaged, and to also, you know, work on some of his inferencing skills. So yeah, so that's how I would implement a social story.